Hi there, Leo. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for June. You're known as being the most exuberant, charismatic member of the zodiac, and this is a month when you can certainly showcase that to its fullest degree. This is because of a sensational alliance between the Sun and Venus that lasts through to the 17th in your sector of friendship, sociability, and long-term prospects. If you really want to sparkle and dazzle and impress people, on the face of it, this would give you awesome opportunity to do so. But there are a few nuances that we just need to be more conscious of, not least that Mercury, the planet of communication, still continues in quite a responsible part of your scope, and through to the 13th could see you thinking quite seriously about your future, how you interact with people, and some of your contacts and networking could be around the professional sphere just as much as the social one. But Mars, the planet of drive and instant gratification, is also in retrograde, and in retrograde through to the 28th in the part of your scope to do with where you live, how you live there. More sensitive issues could therefore still be whirling their way in the background behind these more apparently glamorous ones. And it could see you at times, Mars' retrograde, be a little bit defensive around those more tender things. So just be aware of that. There is this wonderful skyscape which is going to allow you to really prosper, but there are these undercurrents too. Now the other big thing that's happening this month is what's known as a grand mutable cross. Now this is a particularly complex astrological alliance, and it's involving a lot of planets. First up, we have a T-square, a mutable T-square from last month, which rolls into this month. This sees Saturn, the planet of structure, in your sector of self-expression, itself in retrograde, forging a square with Jupiter and Neptune, which are in opposition. Now Jupiter is going forwards now, and it is in your sector of finance, or everyday finances, and of course Jupiter can be lucky. But when Jupiter gets involved in things with Neptune, it can see us almost have outrageous expectations which are never going to see the light of day. So if you are thinking of risking any capital, and this is where Saturn in the 5th house comes in anything that's more speculative, I really would think things through. Be very, very careful and research things before you make a calculated decision. Don't do things just purely on chance or on a whim, because there could be faulty information, or perhaps you're not quite as clear-minded as you could be. However, Saturn is forging a really important opposition to the Sun and Venus in the first week of this month. And as much as there can be this playfulness, you may find yourself really having to juggle some of the people in your world. Everybody may want a piece of you, but you can't necessarily find the time to fit everybody in. Now that means that you need to be very deft around your communications, but also very sincere. It's also possible that there could be a relationship which reaches a touch and go point. This may be with a friend, it could be more romantically based, and money or different attitudes or values could be at the heart of this. If you feel that you're someone who works very hard, invests a lot of time and energy, not just in terms of your work, but in the relationship, and you feel that's not coming back to you, Mars's and Saturn's retrogrades are going to make you much more sensitive to what you're not getting, and the Sun and Venus are going to make you much more idealistic about what you feel you should be getting. And for some Leos, you can shoot for the stars in June. There is no doubt about it, especially once you get beyond this opposition in the first week of the month. A critical point can also be when Mercury arrives on the 13th into Gemini too, and things can seem more playful, and your emphasis can be, certainly for a week, on the more entertaining strands of life. But I do feel that the full moon, which occurs on the 19th, and the transit of Venus into tender Cancer on the 18th, can make you think a little bit more about its quality, not quantity, when it comes to your love life or the type of people you're hanging around with in a social context. This is underlined even more when the Sun pitches up in Cancer itself on the 21st, followed by Mercury on the 30th. The last 10 days of this month can be starkly different to the first 2/3. You may find yourself wanting to keep the world at a little bit more of a distance, more focused on the sincerity of people. Sure, there has been this wonderful burst of magnetism and energy and joyfulness in the first 2/3 of the month, but there are going to be some things going on around it, some decisions to be made. Some of those decisions may not be easy, and as you come to the end of the month, some of it may come down to some kind of separation from an interest, a group of people, a hobby, something that's been important to you in the past, because you're wanting to steer your life in a new way in the future. And the process of separation may not be particularly easy, but the first 2/3 of this month really show you just how popular, how much people want to be with you, and it can be a really seminal time for you, Leo. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Good luck, and goodbye for now.